Hello, I'm Jim Morningstar, Director of the School of Integrative Psychology and facilitator of the Integrative Life Community Building course. This 8-month online course will give you the tools and support to be the Integrative Life Community Builder that you're here to become. The focus of the first class is preparation to step into the next calling to leadership, a calling that takes you out of survival into thriving consciousness more and more. Outlining and dedicating yourself to the steps required for such a venture, whether your focus is on personal ascension, building a more successful integrative business, creating a network of mutually supportive communities globally, or all of these. Levels of community building. Inner family. Successful community building in the world, be it in our family, our work, or our planet, all starts with getting our inner house in order. Our inner life is always reflected in the dynamics we create in our world. Our challenges and weaknesses, fears and doubts, inner conflicts and values, as well as our strengths, virtues, abilities, and highest intentions are all portrayed in our outer manifestations, no matter how clever we think we are at disguising them. We may be able to temporarily convince others who have similar inner divisions that we have mastered ours, and to prompt them to buy our brand of values, goals, and means to achieve them. But unless we engage in honest self-reflection and regular course adjustments, the blind leading the blind inevitably end up in a blind alley. How do we honestly self-reflect when we are often the hardest person to see clearly? We can use the feedback of others, including so-called experts, but that's always biased by their own lack of clarity. We can ask for spiritual guidance, but that posits that we can always distinguish between what is higher spirit or our mind's interpretation of spiritual. There's a third method summarized in a folk adage, let your results be your guru. This is certainly not the magic answer to knowing objective reality either, because how I evaluate my life results, again, is subject to my mental and emotional biases. But we have to start somewhere and eventually be the judge of what is right for us. So I suggest we employ some of all three approaches and find out what resonates most true for us. Otherwise, we'll fall victim to the ruse that we can never be perfect, so we won't even try. We're not looking for perfection in our self-analysis. We're simply looking for the most likely places to start in our change processes and stay tuned to make adjustments along the way. From the yin perspective, our spirit is perfect and will not be more perfect when we're done with this class. From the yang perspective, although our spirit may be perfect, our manifestation of that in our life is subject to the limitations of the tools we have and our misperception in the use of these tools, most pointedly our minds and our bodies. When our minds and bodies are in harmony with our spirit, we get the feedback in the areas of pleasure, satisfaction, and purpose. So let's start with choosing goals we have for bringing our inner community into greater working harmony during this course in community building. We will complete Handout 3, Section A, Inner Goals. 1. 3 goals I have for more balance in my body during the first half, that's 4 months of this course, are 2. 3 goals I have for bringing my emotions into balance during the first half of this course are 3. 3 goals I have for bringing my mind into balance during the first half of this course are, and 4. 3 goals I have for bringing my spiritual life into balance during the first half of this course are. Now, after writing each goal, you will also complete Evidence that I have made progress in this goal over 4 months will be, so by detailing what you see as evidence for your making progress, you will plant the seeds in you with a positive reminder of making this goal concrete and doable for you. However, before we write anything down, let's center ourselves and ask for our own spiritual guidance. Once again, as in the opening meditation, let yourself get comfortably seated with your spine relatively straight but not rigid, and then let your eyes close. Focus your inner attention on a ball of light, vibrant, red energy at the base of your spine. Breathing slowly through your nose, inhale this ball up your back to the top of your head and down the front, returning to the base of your spine. Then continue breathing up the back and down the front, creating a circle of light and protection around your body. Now, in the center of this sanctuary of light, breathe into your heart and ask for your guidance, in whatever form it comes to you, to support you in writing these goals in a way that helps you manifest your highest evolution in this lifetime. Then imagine that this is accomplished in 4 months' time, and feel this feeling in your inner body. It's vital that you feel it as best you can for the next 3 complete inhales and exhales. Then say silently to yourself and your guidance, "It is so." Then with a few more clearing breaths, bring yourself back and complete Handout 2, Section A, maintaining that inner feeling as best you can as you do it. Feel free to do the meditation in abbreviated form as many times as you need during your work. If you choose to complete the handout at another time, be sure to do the meditation before you complete it. Complete Handout 2, Section A now, and come back to the video. Outer family. Our outer families include our blood families of orientation, birth family, and procreation, intimate partner family, our social and friendship groups, as well as our work community. We'll pay special attention in this course to our work community and how to upgrade living our purpose in our work life. I heard many years ago that international research had isolated only one factor that cross-culturally correlated positively with longevity. It was not diet, exercise, marital status, or socioeconomic level. It was job satisfaction. Think about it. How I gain my livelihood, if it's draining my batteries, why would I want to hang around too long? I'm just running myself into the ground. If, on the other hand, how I sustain myself in my work is enriching me on all levels, what better place to be than here? The trap in this mentality, however, is to define what essentially sustains me as my job or even my career. For men in our culture, this historically has often led to a rapid decline after retirement. Women more often have diversified their interests and have defined their living their purpose beyond work tasks into quality of relationships. In Western culture, women tend to outlive men and end up actually controlling a larger proportion of assets. So when we focus on our work setting in this course, it will not be defined by our job duties or career path, but more by the quality of nurturing we derive from our work activities at home or in the marketplace. This will be reflected in the quality of relationships we have with those with whom we do business. Now, business in the broadest sense refers to the act of exchanging goods or services. Good business means that both parties are being enhanced by their transactions. This is called a win-win. Now, seen as part of a global network of transaction, it means that not only do you and I win from our interactions, but the larger community around us benefits in the process. This is called win-win-win, which is the goal of this community building course. The teachers benefit by sharing their highest, being pushed to grow in the process and receiving equitable exchange from the students. The students win by getting the principles of their success reinforced and mentored as they create communities which sustain them to promote their growth through the exchange. The world benefits by having successful, thriving communities abound on our planet that are invested in mutuality and support versus competition based on fear and lack. The more successful we are at supporting community builders, the more we are fostering heaven on earth. What better place to be than here? Clarity and passion. We're going to engage in making a roadmap for your success in creating your outer communities during the time of this course and beyond. The two main ingredients of such a plan are clarity and passion. You can have a crystal clear as well as thought out formula for your successful community building, but not fully put your heart into it, perhaps because of fear of failure or being too exposed or feeling alone in your efforts or whatever your fears are that hold you back. The result will be disappointing. Or you could be fully passionate and throw yourself headlong into energetically promoting the community of your heart's desire, but be foggy and unclear about how this will work, or not be clear in communicating its value to others, and have it also be disappointing. The key to holistic success is to own your feelings and to clearly image having what you want, like Olympic athletes do, and to feel that energy and communicate it as a major step towards getting it. This is putting your clarity and passion together, thereby aligning yourself for success. When writing each of the following goals, hold up the lens of clarity and passion to each one, asking, how can I improve my clarity about this goal and the results I want? As well as, how can I put my heart more fully into envisioning and doing what it takes to accomplish this goal while being balanced and on purpose? Take handout 3, and in section B, we will write 1. 3 goals I have for improving my relationships and my family of orientation during the first half of this course are 2. 3 goals I have for improving my relationships and my family of procreation and or friendships during the first half of this course are, and 3 goals I have for creating the work community of my heart's desire during the first half of this course are. Again, after writing each goal, you will complete evidence that I have made progress in this goal over the 4 months will be. However, before we write anything down, again, let's center ourselves and ask for our own spiritual guidance. Once again, let yourself get comfortably seated with your spine relatively straight, but not rigid. Let your eyes close. Focus your inner attention on a ball of light, vibrant energy of whatever color comes to you now at the base of your spine. Breathing slowly through your nose, inhale this ball up your back to the top of your head and down the front, returning to the base of your spine. Then continue breathing up the back and down the front, creating a circle of light and protection around your body. Now, in the center of this sanctuary of light, breathe into your heart and ask for your guidance in whatever form comes to you, to support you in writing these goals in a way that helps you manifest your highest evolution in this lifetime. Then imagine that this is accomplished in 4 months' time and feel the feeling of this in your inner body. It's vital that you feel it as best you can for the next 3 complete inhales and exhales. Then say silently to yourself and your guidance, "It is so." With a few more clearing breaths, bring yourself back and complete Handout 2, Section B, maintaining that inner feeling as best you can as you do it. Feel free to do the meditation in abbreviated form as many times as you need to during your work. If you choose to complete the handout at another time, be sure to do the meditation before you complete it. Complete Handout 2, Section B, now, and come back to the video. Connection with the global communities. Over the past number of years, I've made it my self-assignment to connect with global communities. In 1996, I saw an ad for a Global Inspiration Breathwork Conference in Sardinia, Italy, and I said in a flash to myself, "I'm going." I did, and I immersed myself fully in the community, how it functioned, how to support its mission to function well. This led to my getting involved immediately on an organizational level, becoming the national coordinator for the USA, then becoming vice president, and in 2001, bringing the conference, which had been held for the 7 prior years in Europe, for the first time to the Western Hemisphere, here in my home state of Wisconsin. Out of these experiences, I became committed to sustaining the quality of breathwork communities internationally and started the Global Professional Breathwork Alliance, which certifies schools and training programs as well as professionals who subscribe to training standards and ethics agreed upon by 22 breathwork communities around the world. I continue to be co-director of this growing community fostering organization. Combined with my experience as co-director of Leonard Orr's Theta International back in the 1990s, which helped establish breathwork communities around the United States and Canada, and maintaining an ongoing community for 33 years here in the Midwest, I am devoted not only to championing the transformative value of spiritual community, but to fostering interconnection amongst them. To be sure, events like the ongoing Global Inspiration Conference of the International Breathwork Foundation already serve as an open forum for exchange amongst individuals from breathwork communities around the world, and I believe that's divinely inspired. But once again, I'm envisioning another step in sharing more specific forms of community support, like educational curricula, teaching exchanges, and mutual mentoring forums. It has been scientifically validated that collective wisdom from all sectors of a community, properly orchestrated, surpasses the effectiveness and accuracy of the most enlightened intelligentsia or benevolent dictators. I've relied on the feedback from community members here in putting this course together and know that its success will come from its collective wisdom rather than just my individual inspirations. So I call upon you now to pool our resources in writing goals for our global relationships during and beyond the time of this course. We are already spiritually connected on a global level, but we will grow in awareness and functionality of our connectedness through our work together in this class. Take handout 3, and in section C, you will write 1. 3 goals I have for my mutually supportive connection to global spiritual community during the first half of this course are. 2. 3 goals I have for our group's mutually supportive connection to global spiritual community during the first half of this course are. After writing each goal, you will also complete evidence that I have made progress in this goal over 4 months will be. Again, before we write anything down, let's center ourselves and ask for our spiritual guidance. But let yourself get comfortably seated with your spine relatively straight, but not rigid. Then let your eyes close. Focus your inner attention on a ball of sparkling white, vibrant light energy at the base of your spine. Breathing slowly through your nose, inhale this ball up your back to the top of your head and down the front of your body, returning to the base of your spine on the exhale. And continue breathing up the back and down the front, creating a circle of light and protection around your body. Now, in the center of this sanctuary of light, breathe into your heart and ask for your guidance, in whatever form comes to you, to support you in writing these goals in a way that helps you and our group manifest our highest evolution in this lifetime. Then imagine that this is accomplished in 4 months' time, and feel the feeling of this in your inner body. It's vital that you feel it as best you can for the next 3 complete inhales and exhales. Then say silently to yourself and your guidance, "It is so." Then with a few more clearing breaths, bring yourself back and complete section C, maintaining that inner feeling as best you can as you do. Feel free to do the meditation in abbreviated form as many times as you need during your work. If you choose to complete the handout at another time, be sure to do the meditation before you complete it. Now complete section C and come back to the video. I cannot emphasize enough that community building is not simply bringing a group of individuals into a common space, physically or virtually. It's a process of creating a common intention and then maintaining the highest quality of ideas and practices in that space together over a committed period of months. This is what changes relationship patterns, first internally, then externally, and creates new habits for living, reinforced throughout all the emotional and mental states a person encounters in the act of living. It does not mean that everyone will feel rosy all the time. In fact, it will bring forth our deepest challenges the longer we stay with the process. But if the habits of breathing, self-analysis, and community acceptance are maintained, new neurological pathways are created, traumas are released, and holding patterns give way to open-hearted flow, which carries over into all phases of one's life. If you are in this course, you have already most likely had some experience of this and are now ready to take another step towards broadening your community of spirit to give you a bigger playground of safety in your daily life, the freedom to more unabashedly live your purpose and own the joys of self-realization with like-spirited companions. To be a walking billboard for inner peace regardless of the drama that plays out in the world. To maintain compassion for others and ourselves for being occasional players in that drama, but not ultimately defined by it. To have an inner sense of guidance which puts our fears in the perspective of lessons being learned rather than being swallowed up by an overpowering ill fate. To have humor and humility in the face of our personality foibles and still be able to revel in our uniqueness, in our sacred place in the fabric of the universe. There's a wise adage that it takes a community to raise a child, because the more and diverse sources of love and wisdom a child has, the more resourceful they become in the face of the multiple unknown challenges that they will face in the world. Well, I eschew the belief that as adults that we no longer benefit from community education because we're too isolated and burdened with our individual responsibilities. To be sure, we're no longer just children, but I have experienced as adults how the children within us still have needs for tenderness and acceptance, and that how shared responsibilities feel much lighter than solitary burdens, and how play often solves more seeming adult conundrums than worry or complaining. So I hereby propose that we venture forth together into this 8 months with as clear of an intention and as open a heart as we can muster, with the willingness to share the highs and lows of our journey for the purpose of drawing up a new blueprint for what our life can be, and by extension, how humans can evolve new communities of spirit in new ways that our ancestors could not have imagined. Along the way, I will share the best tools of which I'm aware to support community building, and I invite you to do the same. What we dream together will then go beyond what our current minds could conjure. Spiritual community is the workshop of miracles. Holding you in my heart as fellow travelers on the road home, I send and receive blessings for our circle and all sentient beings till next class. Blessings in light and love.